Hello, and welcome back to Dicing with Death, or Drinking with Death, or Dungeons and Drinking, or Drinking and Dragons.
A special late night dicing with death.
Yes.
Dicing with death, the witching hour.
Dicing with Death holiday style? Maybe, oh no,
Yeah.
we'd have to be
Yeah.
wearing like Santa hats for that shit. Maybe we
Mm,
maybe we should drink eggnog and have cookies and wear Santa hats and play a special Santa or Christmas themed D&D episode.
I'm not prepared. But where like the evil demon Krampus comes and we beats all the bad children with a switch.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good adventure.
Yeah. What are you doing on Friday?
Too bad I am just playing as Fenric the Wild Mage, who has just arrived in Elmstead.
Elmstead.
Hopefully pawning this history book and making some cash. But mostly sleeping really. So how much does that in room cost? 5 silver, I assume.
Yes.
Can I break a gold?
You may break a gold, and this innkeeper does not seem impressed. He treats it like everyday, normal stuff.
I have beef jerky, and I'm gonna chew it in front of this microphone. And you know what? The viewers are just gonna have to deal with it. It happens sometimes.
At least you're not chewing nuts like I used to. Although I could go get some nuts. I have some on a shelf. It could be
Neil
done.
has zero regards for the viewers' eardrums. He just eats whatever he wants on stream. It's too many of those marathons, and you're just like, don't care. Doritos time.
Yeah, I think it is the marathons because I kind of do the well, fuck it. I'm just gonna be me, and if you can't handle me eating food, that's too bad. I would have loved to have you around, but fuck it. I'll take less viewers to be more happy with what I do. I'm a very selfish man right now, guys. But at the same time, I'm working on that production quality for you because I want it to.
All right. So, I nap for a long time. I assume I'm not disturbed.
No, you're totally fine.
And I believe I had already had spells memorized. My HP's full, so that was actually just role playing reasons that I bought a hotel room and I slept, but that's fine.
Okay.
And then I think it's probably evening by the time that I wake up and get my wits about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
guess I'll go for a walk around Elmstead, trying to find a bookshop if such a thing exists. I'm not even sure if my character's ever seen a bookshop, but
Elmstead is a large city. It is bigger than Swampside. So you're kind of walking through this place with a sense of wonderment and amazement. It's it's bigger than the biggest city you've ever seen. So I guess maybe not necessarily that filled with wonder and amazement, but it's still like, ooh, hey, this is impressive.
drunk
It's
enough to
evening time.
pour my drink on my sweater.
Do
It's a
you?
good place.
Yeah, well, the sweater is there
Um,
to keep the drink from landing on you. It's serving its purpose as a shield. If you didn't spill the drink, it wouldn't have a purpose. You are therefore endowing it with meaning and making its life better. The sweater should be thanking you.
all right, I like that. Um, so, anyways, you were saying I'm wandering around this large, at least to me, city.
Yeah.
Um, looking for a bookshop, but not expecting much. But probably getting caught up in just the feel and the vibe of the big city. Although actually, I've been reading about the history of the kings of Valis or something like that in that book that I'm trying to sell.
You hear some
And
distant
Valis is a monstrous city compared to this.
you yeah, it is. It really is. But you hear some cracks of lightning or cracks of thunder in the background and notice that I mean, you can't really see the stars anyway, and the moon is not quite up yet. But you start to feel precipitation, and you get the impression that it is cloudy and raining.
Okay, back to my hotel room. I'll figure this out in the morning. And I sleep through the rest of
Oh man.
the night. Were you all queued up for some nighttime music?
Yeah, I was gonna put on some rainy music and explore the city at
Well,
night
put
with
on
you.
the rainy music and have me stumble across something interesting on the way back to my hotel room.
All right.
You better intrigue me, otherwise I'm going straight to bed.
Where's the storm music though? What? Huh? Dark and stormy. Oh, it may not have made it its way over here yet. Although it's interesting that the soundtrack is called Dark and Stormy. because that is Scott Bro's favorite drink. He won't ever stop talking about it.
I'm drinking whiskey sours right now. Fresh California limes and some nice rye whiskey. And now I'm starting to get that southern accent again.
There we go.
Fenric will be back before you know it. Chewing beef jerky
Come on. I know it's here.
on a live microphone.
We can't actually hear the jerky. Okay.
That's good. There are advantages to these
Ooh, that's too loud,
dynamic
that's too
mics
loud.
over the usual, the very live condenser.
All right, there we go. It starts to rain with bits of thunder cracking in the background. Like that. As you try and make your way back to your place, you notice that there are plenty of lights on in common rooms and taverns and inns, but most of the shops that were open, now that it starts to rain, they quickly blow out their candles and get ready to hunker down for the night. You walk around the corner in this, rain that has kind of come on very suddenly and is now quite heavy, to see a man run a woman through with a short sword in kind of the middle of the street where at this moment no one else is. And as the thunder recedes, she slumps off his blade.
I cast Change Myself as I immediately dive towards the man.
Okay, give me an initiative roll. You will still have surprise round, but he's making his actions regardless because he doesn't know you're there.
Yeah.
So give me...
Let me check the weapon speed on that. Or sorry, the casting speed.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is 1, so 7.
Okay. He doesn't see you, but he slides her off of his short sword, kind of slashes it to kind of get as much blood off it as possible, stows it, and starts to walk down an alleyway. You get moments after he disappears down the alleyway is when your spell finishes, and you change.
All right, so I'm chasing after him.
What do you change into?
I'm going to grow a few inches. I'm going to stay human,
Mm-hmm.
but I will materialize a suit of plate mail about me, and try and look like a city like a knight, basically.
Okay.
And I'll draw my short sword. I guess
Okay.
I've still got my staff either strapped to my back or in my offhand. Well, actually, no. I can make it sort of not actually be there, right, when I change self. So I basically turn to an armored, fully armored city guard.
Okay.
Plate mail with this glowing short sword.
All right.
And I'm trying to pursue the guy.
So you actually have your flame sword drawn?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You start walking down the alleyway.
Well, it wasn't much of a. I mean, I was trying to apprehend this guy and be like, "Bitches, I am the authority."
Yeah. Well, he notices you pretty quickly and turns around.
Was
He's
it
about
the flaming sword that gave it away, or
it was the strange
or the
light.
6'3" in plate mail.
But he whirls about in the alleyway 30 feet down when you're about 10 feet down the alley to see you, and you see his hand go to his short sword. And he takes a defensive stance and says, "Who are you?"
Drop the weapon, son.
Don't come any closer. And he starts to slowly shuffle backwards. Like very, very slowly.
I edge towards him.
He stops edging backwards and draws his short sword halfway.
And I twirl the short sword. Stare down.
What do you want?
I'm on guard position, obviously. So if he
Right.
steps within reach of me, I'm making an attack.
It sounds like you're both in guard position, so you can just chatter at each other.
You, sir, are under arrest. Put down your blade, or I will run you through.
First off, that's not the definition of arrest. Secondly, you don't look like any city guard I've ever seen. Who are you?
I will be your death if you do not think better of it.
Listen, I don't know if you know what you've stumbled into here, but it's none of your business, and you best just walk away.
You just killed a lady. That seems like some business right there.
None of yours, though. And if it makes a difference, which I don't think it will, she had it coming.
I'm gonna go ahead and actually. I rolled a wild surge for that one, right?
You did not. Give me.
Gosh, see, this is how it happens. It happens so easily.
You got to put like a
I
big
forget
post-it
the
note on
wild
your
made,
screen.
Yeah. 3. So it was low. Okay, so I was just gonna roll for duration.
The
'Cause I'm not
duration is
really-
still the same because you're still first level, and it can't have a lower than first level duration.
Okay. All right. So I got about 13 minutes of being huge and in plate mail.
Mhm.
I'm not standing down, but I'm also not about to jump at this guy.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to be more patient than he is.
Okay.
I'm not about to like try and slay him, but I'm also not going to back down because I've never been. I guess I was an orc a little while ago, but this is some nice plate mail. I'm feeling pretty badass.
He starts to sheathe his sword and gets out of his defensive stance a little bit into more of like I'm standing just in front of you as another person.
I fucking slay him with my flaming sword if he lets his guard down for a second.
Yeah, he lets his guard down immediately.
All right, can I roll an attack? Do you want
Yeah,
me to
go
roll
for it.
initiative?
No, you just make an attack.
Clarification. What armor is he wearing? Just first of all.
It's dark. Your
Okay.
flaming sword only
so
sheds
I'm
5.
a non-proficient wizard. It's D20 minus 5.
Yes. Yes.
Plus what any magical bonus there is.
Yes.
Might be minimal. It might just be a shiny sword.
Right. For those of you listening to the audio, he just rolled a 1.
Was that on stream? Can the viewers see that right now?
Hey, you better sober up, Ryan. That shit's canon.
Oh God! So what happens to my beautiful flaming sword?
Give me a saving throw versus death. I've never, ever seen anyone roll a -4 before.
Okay, I crit it.
Okay,
I
you're
still got it,
fine.
right?
You're fine. But I've never seen anyone roll a -4. Like, this is a life-changing moment. I didn't know you could, like, that could be done.
Like seriously, history of roll 20. There's probably not a whole lot of rolls that poor.
Not intent, like, unless...
Like, you've got to have
yeah.
a very specific D20 system and a pretty mediocre set of circumstances to get that low.
That's impressively low.
That's wow. Okay, so how does he feel about my lunge?
So you bring your short sword towards him, and it like scrapes across the entire wall to your side, and like clangs into the ground, and sends sparks just everywhere.
And don't come back. And I shake my quivering flaming blade in his general direction.
He reaches into his pocket and flips you a coin. And turns around and walks away.
I'm probably too jittery to catch it midair, and it just falls onto the floor beneath me.
Yeah.
And I pick it up.
You pick it up, and you notice that it is made of silver, but it is not like any silver coin you've ever seen before. It's about 30% bigger.
Is it
around?
It's actually made of silver.
I mean, it's bad light. You might, if you think it's platinum, you should go check it in better light. Definitely.
I quickly stick it into a pocket and go check the dead body. There's a lady. A lady just got stabbed in the street a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
I should probably figure out what that was. Yeah.
But mark
and
special
stop being-
silver coin on your character sheet.
Yeah. I've got that big other loot section that I haven't even started to fill in.
You go back to the lady in the street. The rain has kind of washed away any blood that would be on her because the street is on a slight hill.
Roll for hotness.
And her corpse is cold. Hotness in life. Ooh, 15 on 3d6.
She'd make a great zombie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just rolled
say.
46. It's actually 16 hotness.
Wow. She'd make a great zombie.
Yeah.
I sheathe my glowing sword. Does she have any valuables? That
Yes.
are what does she have?
She has a golden necklace. It's just like a chain with nothing else on it, and a set of pearl earrings. And you look at her clothes, and you're like, you know what? This is probably all silk. These are probably worth a pretty penny.
I take the necklace and the earrings, and I split before the guilt sets in.
All right, you disappear and make it back to your inn, fairly safe and intact, if not soaked. At any point, do you change back from a fighter into your normal
Uh,
self?
in 13 minutes, it will
Okay.
naturally change back. I don't know. I can probably end it at any point before that, right?
Yeah,
I
totally.
assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't. I kind of like being huge and in plate mail,
Okay.
so I leave it on for the full 13 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm probably back by the time I'm back. I'm at the hotel, or
Mhm.
no?
Yeah.
Okay. So I walk in as my usual self.
You walk
But
in as your usual self.
one time I cast that spell, and it didn't change back all the way, and I got my right eye stuck brown. So that's the thing.
Yeah. So you know what?
That's
Sometimes things get fucked up.
yeah. Wild magic is crazy shit.
Yeah.
Actually, it's my left eye that's brown. It's on my character sheet. It's
Okay.
my left eye that's brown.
So you arrive back at the tavern,
Yeah.
um, and just go back up to your room.
Um.
Have you paid for tonight? I don't think you paid
Yeah.
for
I already.
tonight.
No, this is the first night. This is like This is a very strange hour. It's like it's the middle. Remember, I got into town during the day,
And you slept.
and I hadn't slept, so I slept. So I took a nap in the middle of the afternoon, and I woke up at like 8 p.m. after the sun had gone down.
Oh, I guess when you
And I had
bought
a
the room,
super
it was
awkward day.
for that night. Yeah,
Yeah,
not,
so
you
I
didn't buy the
basically-
room for the afternoon. Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
bought it at like noon for a full day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, I gave him silver. I assume I still have the room, right?
Yeah, you still have the room.
I don't think I'll owe any extra.
No. You owe nothing extra.
Yeah.
You stumble back into your room, and is there anything you want to do back
I
there?
lock up. I'm gonna hope that nobody saw me. I guess I turned. I mean, I've already turned back from that huge dude in the plate mail into just this awkward, gangly redhead dude,
Hmm.
little ginger, and I go to bed.
Okay. You have sweet dreams of very large women, and awake the next morning feeling very refreshed.
I gather my shit, and is this a 1-story or 2-story inn?
A 4-story inn. You are on the 3rd floor.
All right, I get out of there as nonchalantly as possible.
Yeah, you walk out into the streets, which are busy even though it is raining.
What time is it?
It's hard to
I'm
tell.
probably. I would imagine the feeling after casting a change. Wait, can I memorize spells? the following-
Yes.
I need to change self. Let's get something. I'm gonna do sleep.
Okay.
And Nahal's Reckless Dreamer, of course.
Gotta love it.
Gotta
You know,
love
you
it.
could just memorize 2 Nahal's Reckless Dweemers.
Chat doesn't realize you're trolling me, but I know.
but you could,
But you could just fill all of your spell slots with Nahal's Reckless Dreamers.
right? Like, why wouldn't you? Okay.
Why wouldn't you? Because you could get 200% effectiveness on everything you know.
Yeah. It could be amazing.
Okay, so it theoretically, if you were level 100, I don't know, 99, a
Yeah.
level 99 wizard, which
It
is
would
possible.
always be 200% effectiveness.
It could always be 200% effectiveness.
But you'd be a level 99 wizard, so you would be the god of all the gods.
God, I'm slurring my speech, rambling about being a 99th level.
It's late night dicing with death. That's what happens. It's okay. Everyone expects that out of us, and if they don't, they should recheck their perception checks. You know, make another one.
All right. So I memorized sleep and the Hall's Reckless Dreamer and set out. It's probably like late morning, early afternoon. I'm not really sure.
Hmm.
You know, staggering out into the street, leaning against my quarterstaff a little extra, and realizing I'm supposed to be pawning Well, I got a lot more shit to pawn than I thought I would, and I'm gonna start wandering
Yeah.
around town again and get the lay of the land.
Okay.
See if I can. I'm gonna start with the bookseller, because that's what I'm.
How do you go about finding a bookseller?
I'm gonna try and find a bookstore if such a thing exists. And if
So you just
not,
like walk around the city looking for a bookstore?
Yeah, before I ask. Yeah, but initially, if I
Because
see
real
one
men
on-
don't ask for directions, right?
Exactly. So I'm gonna spend. I mean, I'm willing to spend half hour, 2 hours, maybe one around the city.
Okay.
You roll anything, or are you just rolling?
No, I'm rolling. You wander around the city, and what was the maximum number of hours you were going to spend?
2 hours.
Okay.
I'll spend
After 2
most-
hours, you have found nothing.
Nothing.
No sign of a bookstore.
All right, I'll ask for directions. Someone who has robes or maybe spectacles, a receding hairline, something that makes them look like they might know where one would get a book.
You pass a couple of abbots walking down the street.
Oh yeah, sweet. I'll be like, fathers, I am from afar trying to pawn a priceless history tome to fund my travels. Do you know where I might
Pawn
find?
a priceless history tome? Have words such as that ever been spoken before?
Oh,
Shame on you. Shame.
Yeah, so I was looking for a bookseller.
My God. Show me this book at once. And he pulls
I'm
you
gonna
into
take-
like a covered section underneath a building that has like a bridge or a tunnel built through it.
I take a second to check this guy out. Does he seem like a legit? I don't have a religion proficiency, but does he seem like an actual?
He
Excellent.
has brown robes with a silver medallion hanging from his neck.
Do I
You know what?
recognize the
That
sigil
actually
on it?
might be a platinum medallion now that you recognize it.
Do I recognize it as? Do I recognize the sigil, or?
No. No idea.
But is it probably an equilateral triangle with some little loops at each, with a circle at each of the points?
It's not a symbol you recognize.
I'll pull the book from my bag.
Okay. You pull it from your bag, and him and the guy he's standing with kind of sucking their breath a little bit. And one of them reaches for it and tries to yank it out of your hands. Do you resist? Do you let him?
He's a fucking friar. Yeah, I assume that he's not gonna go running off with that.
Okay. He pulls it out of your hands and opens it and turns around, like starts paging through it, and goes,
That's it.
"This is a very, very nice book. Where you pawn this? What do you need, poor man? I will give it to you in exchange for this."
Gold would be nice.
Are you not a man of faith? Do you not believe that this should be kept? This is a record of the gods' interference in men's lives.
Does the church buy these sorts of things?
Would you ask that of the church? Really? Are you that much of a heathen? Who are you that would ask such things of gods? He seems very incensed, and
What god?
give me a charisma check, actually.
What god do you? Okay, yeah, sure. I'm trying to. I mean, were my parents religious? Are people religious in Swampside?
Yeah,
You
Kind of.
said
I mean-
charisma.
yeah, charisma.
12. So I'm looking like some kind of asshole.
And you're getting the impression from him that he's just like genuinely.
Looks down upon me. Thinks that I'm the scum of the earth.
No, I'm sorry, not genuine. What's the opposite of genuine? Like he's faking this like religious
really?
rant. It actually kind of
Even
comes
that-
off a little bit like he's trying to guilt trip you into giving him the book. Like
I snatch it back from him
okay.
and check my belongings. Do they resist at all? Or
No, he lets you snatch the book back, and says, "If you're going to sell such a thing, please sell it to me. I'm sure we can scrape together
Come, take me to your
30 or
church.
40
Take
silver
me-
for you."
Take me to your church, and I get out of this sketchy alley or whatever they dragged me into, and I start checking my
Okay.
pouches, and I'm paranoid. Right, I roll low on that charisma check, so maybe I fucked it up, but I'm paranoid.
All right.
I'm patting myself down, making sure I got everything. But I
You-
still ask him to lead me to his church.
Okay. You arrive in the abbot's. It's
I
not a
wasn't
church.
robbed.
What's it called? An abbey.
I wasn't robbed by the.
It doesn't appear that you were robbed.
There. Okay.
You arrive in their abbey.
I'm like, all right, take. I don't know if I can conjure up my southern accent at this point.
You can do it, Ryan. I believe in you.
Nah. All right, take me to your librarian.
Okay. So they bring you to a room where there's a table, and they bring you some water. And they say, you say, take me to your librarian, and the guy says, well, hold on. Let me speak to you about this, because I am the, I guess I would be the position of a librarian, though that is not a formal title.
You got any books?
I have many, and I'm the one who keeps them. It's a hobby of mine.
You said you're a man of God?
Yes.
Which one?
I mean, I follow all the gods, but I prefer to keep my heart and my eyes on Martha and Astaire.
Mom and Pop? Safe choice. Safe choice.
And how about you? Are you one who believes?
Believes.
Do you believe that the gods influence our lives? Do you submit that they are the supreme powers in this land?
Is that a subject of debate? Is it actually in this time and place? What is the
Not
philosophy?
really. There are some people who
I mean, it
act
seems
out
like-
against them, but it's kind of like there seems to be overwhelming evidence that they exist.
I mean,
But
yeah,
there are some
there's-
people who, will disgrace the gods or cast them out or curse their names.
but
Or,
it's hard to
those that will work with darker gods and might curse the light ones, which is
It's
sometimes
hard
mean the
to
same thing as
deny
belief.
when there's high-level clerics wandering
Right.
around doing miracles on a daily basis.
Right.
That's sort of my character's thinking. Repeat the question.
Where do your allegiances lie? To man or to the gods?
You want the book or not?
I think the book should be saved and protected.
Really
I
that
believe it is an
interesting?
important
Did I think it was
historical
that
document.
interesting? Did I think it was that interesting?
Excuse me?
Did my character in reading it over the last couple of days, did I think it was that interesting?
No, it kind of sounded silly.
I mean, it's just like a history book about
It's a semi-comedic history book.
Valus it's a monstrous fortified city in the west, right?
In the southwest.
is-
Southeast.
Yeah. Is it East? Valus.
Southeast.
Oh, Valus. That's where Honorbound takes place, right?
Hmm.
I was thinking of Atrilla,
Yeah, that would be
on
the
the
other
other side
way.
of the continent, Valus. So it's just a big city.
Hmm.
Great Kings of Valus. This could be the tale of Honorbound right here. That could be what this book is.
It could be.
And
And maybe that's why it's so goofy.
Fenric doesn't give a shit about it, and he's honestly just thinking of giving it to these friars to get them to shut up.
And that's kind of what they seem to be trying to do also. So he asks again, please, sir, this must be preserved. This
Yeah,
has histories
what
and
did
legends.
what did you say your name was? You're in charge here, right?
I am Friar Bick,
So you're the father. Does everyone here call you father, or do you have a
brother.
grandpappy?
Brother is the appropriate term.
brother Vic,
Brother Bick,
brother Bick. Do you have
Friar
a
Bick.
Is there a daddy? Is there a daddy?
Excuse me.
Brother Bick.
If
Do you
there is a priest that comes by from time to time, and it would be appropriate to dress him as father.
All right. Well, my name is Fenric.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pleasure to meet you. You are mighty boring, brother Bick. I might say that. I might say that you're a little bit bothersome. You may keep the history tome. I would recommend that you speak highly of me to your father, and I may stop in for a favor from time to time. And
His face goes red.
And I give him a pat on the shoulder.
It's just like cherry red, and he's like,
and I leave the book sitting there on the table that he was giving me water glasses from.
As you start to move away, you notice his knuckles like going
The
white with
champagne,
anger.
brother?
He's
I
like,
say.
he's so pissed off at you right now. In fact, he needs to make a willpower check.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I'm actually trying to recall names of evil gods to taunt him with.
Malchus, Varasi.
Yeah. I resist the urge of Varasi. She is a vile temptress, brother Bick. do not let her take your body.
He huffs and
So
he
it might
puffs,
feel nice.
and you leave. And as you walk out the door, you hear like the crash of something breaking, and you get like a weird, satisfied, like I fucked with him.
I deleted that book from my character sheet.
All right. What is the next order of business in town?
I needed money, and that didn't get me.
That book was worth so much money. It's like 25 gold at a minimum. You just gave it away to some guy who was annoying, which is legit. Like that was well role played.
He was he was a priest, right? I mean, this is an abbey. I'm assuming. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it will actually come into play, but I'm thinking that like, it's a legit organization. If I'm really down on my luck, I can come back here and be like, hey, I gave you that book. Give me some food.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
Sanctuary. Give me sanctuary.
There's kind of a little bit of debt owed there, and you did a good deed. I'm in awe. Anyway.
I'm chaotic neutral.
Yeah. So, what is the next order of business again?
What's the name of this town?
Uh,
I have
Elmstead.
I have some stolen valuables that I'm going to try and sell now that book didn't work out.
okay. What are the stolen valuables you would like to sell?
The gold necklace and the pearl earrings from the dead hooker in the alley. But I'm pretty nervous about trying to get rid of those. I'm not a rogue. I don't have any like thieves' cant or any network. Elmstead. So I have a brother Bick in Elmstead on my character sheet.
Okay.
That's what I got out of trading that book in.
Okay.
I got a friar who I can show up and be like, "Hey, bitch, you know me," and he's gonna be like, "I don't know you. Get out of my abbey." And he's gonna walk me on the streets.
So just so you know, the so-called evil gods, which evil is kind of one way of looking at it, would be the god of death, which is Varasi, the god of chaos, which is Malchus, the god of fatalism, Bel, the god of vengeance, Valthera, the god of suffering, Baal, and the god of fear, Bull. They are the 6 so-called evil gods.
Well, Malchus and Varasi covered it, but I appreciate that. Is that actually in a printed notebook that you're stating?
No, I have like these are my handwritten notes that I haven't transferred to computer yet. I keep trying to, but I don't have enough time because I do
usually just check
10 hours of D&D. Yeah, that wiki is going to be completely rewritten. Or
Really?
not the wiki, that page on the gods is non-canon at this point. It will be completely redone.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
So anyways, I am wandering around Elmstead trying to find somewhere to pawn some jewelry.
You eventually come across a jeweler.
Yeah.
The lights are on inside, and you see a slender man with a nice kind of rippling silk shirt and a long pointy sword at his side, and then a kind of fat gnome. You know, he's just kind of like a little blob. He's like a little fat gnome just sitting behind a counter.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to him.
Okay. You walk up to the gnome.
I,
The other guy clearly looks like some sort of bodyguard.
yeah, I say you buy gold.
Oh,
Jewelry?
yes! I buy gold, I buy jewelry, I buy anything that you need to sell. What are you going to sell, huh? I got some good items here if you want to buy them too, but I would really like to see the items you have on hand. What are these? Pearls? Is it gold? Is it silver? Is it jewels? Is it emeralds? Is it rubies? Tell me. What? But
I
on the other hand,
really
are you a
don't-
man of taste? I can sell you a couple of things over here.
No, no,
Here,
no,
let me
no,
show.
no. It's hard times.
What do you need?
Hard times, you see. I need to part with my beloved necklace that my brother gave me.
Oh,
but,
okay.
you
So
know,
what type
you-
of necklace
you
is it?
understand.
I can
If you were
evaluate it
on-
for you if you need, or I can sell it to someone else for you, or I can just buy it for you. But if you'd like gold necklaces in general, maybe I can trade it for
God,
something
I
a little
hate
bit smaller,
gnomes.
and maybe
God,
give you
I
a
hate
little gnome
gnomes.
on top of that.
This is the
give you
gold
some extra
necklace that I
gold.
found on the dead body in the alley.
Mm-hmm.
Back in, actually, that was in this town, wasn't it?
That was in this town.
Probably 12 hours ago.
Yeah, yeah, just
it's
about.
just, but I assume it's just a plain gold necklace.
Yeah, it's just
Like
a plain
gold
chain gold. As you pull it out, his speech cuts off, and he takes it from your hands, kind of greedily and grubbily, and pulls out a glass and starts looking at it, and then puts it back and forth in his hands, and like drops it in a little cup of water, and looks at something, and then takes it out and shakes it off, and then puts it on a little scale and like puts some weights on it, trying to like figure out what percentage of it is gold by judging its density. And then comes back to look at you and goes, okay, well, I'd be happy to buy this from you. I could take it for, well, I don't think I could sell it, or I could buy it for more than 12 gold, because I got to make a profit on this sort of thing. So if I buy it for 12 and it sits in my shop for 5 or 10 years and then I sell it, that's just not a very good investment for me.
You
So
know it's worth
you
at
could-
least 15.
Well, I mean, no, it's
I'll
definitely
take
worth
thir-
more. But like,
I'll take-
I can't reasonably let it go. I can't reasonably buy it for any more than 12. What do you think, man? I mean, 12 is a pretty good offer. I think 12 is really good. I think 12 might actually be too generous of an offer.